Should we get started? Right, I've got a picture here of the moon, which I actually took myself. I can't believe this, quite proud of this. So I was lent a telescope from a chap that my husband works with, and I found the moon through it, and I thought, oh, I wonder if it'll work if I take a photo down the lens. And to my surprise, it did work. I mean, it's not super clear, but I thought that was a lovely image, and I've been inspired by this moon image, so I thought I'd try and recreate it with some inks that I've got here. So I've got the dried marigold, Victorian velvet, and a hickory smoke as well. So we use these, probably just those three, and maybe a bit of black soot as well. Probably use those and see if we can recreate it. Okay, so I've got here some really thick, good quality watercolour card that's 300 GSM, and some nesting dies. So any nesting dies, and I thought I'd probably keep it a similar size, so that's a little bit smaller, but that'll do. I don't know if anyone's crafting along. Do people craft along? Or do you just watch? So yes, so die cut this from just a good piece of photocopier paper will do, and then we obviously get this, right, this circle, and we need both parts of these, so don't bin these away. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Glad you like my photo. I put it up on Facebook as well. Okay, so we've got these two images, pieces of paper. So to make a start, we'll put our moon, let's use this one, probably roughly in the centre, but let's have it high, so probably about there, and draw around it. Is anyone crafting along? I don't know. Hopefully I won't bore you anyway. Okay, lightly draw that. Okay, and then we'll go in with some inks. So I'll take the dried marigold and just put some, we're just adding some background colour to the moon, really. So it's not specific. Can you see this well enough? Is it quite faint? And then also some of the Victorian velvet, nice soft colours. A bit more around there. Okay, so don't have to be too fussy. That'll do probably. Let me put the lids back on, and then we shall do some hickory smoke, because that's a nice moon colour, I think. I'm using the oxides, because I like the sort of opaqueness of them, actually, and I just think they give more body to the moon. Okay, so I'm bringing in this, I'm using it as a stencil, basically, and I'm just rubbing in some hickory smoke around the edge, towards the bottom in particular, to give it that globe sort of shape, or form I should say, and a bit more around the edge. Okay, well, I must remember to look at the comments. Lynette's here, Sarah, John, Caroline, Samantha Wade is watching. Hi Samantha, and Armstrong. Oh, how nice. Thank you for joining me. It really does feel like I've opened my craft room doors. It's lovely, and welcomed you all in. Right, can we see this okay? So I've just basically done a sort of a smooshy effect, and I'm going to bring in some water. Dust on my work. Okay, just give it a bit of a a flick with some water. And also, bringing my moon picture, I've got some real highlighted bits here, especially this sort of crater here at the bottom. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm just going to paint that in. And that is quite a light bit there. And a dot there. And then you've got these sort of stripy bits, almost like it's the moon's surface has been scratched. I think it has gone under some stressful times, our moon. So I'm just painting with water those lighter sort of areas, and then I can blot it with tissue. So can you see all right, or do you want me to see if I can zoom in a bit more? So, oh, Kay's crafting along, making a sympathy card. Oh, you make that smooshing effect look easy. Oh, it is. Oh, it's Elizabeth. Hi. It is easy. You just go like that. Right, so let's see if we can zoom in a bit more. Let me get out my chair. I don't know if I can. Oh yeah, a little bit more. Move that as well. That might be better, mightn't it? Just so you can see some of the detail. So I've got my little light patches in there. And now I can sort of start painting. I'll bring my paint. Well, I've got acrylic block that I like to work on. And I'm going to put some hickory smoke on there. So I'm just basically going to paint with it. So I'm going to pick up some of that. I like the way it oxidises, because the oxidising colour, it's sort of a greyish sort of colour, isn't it? So that's even better, I think. Right, I'm going to work the dark areas now. So I'm going to pick out these sort of darker areas. Basically, I'm just patting on the colour and just picking out where I need to concentrate on these darker areas. Creating my face, I suppose, or the man on the moon, whatever you like to think. There's a bit of a darker piece up there. How are we doing? Looks fine to me. I have zoomed in a bit, Tracy, so hopefully that's a bit better. Okay, so I kind of recently bought these. Well, I bought a few, well, quite a few of the oxides. I had a couple, but I haven't actually experienced that much with them, because I tend to craft with, you know, products that I get commissioned to do and use those. So I treated myself actually during the lockdown. I thought, right, I'm going to go for some more of these. So I've got some of the distress inks, but not many of the oxides. So I thought I'm going to treat myself to some. So I was quite excited to use them. So with using the oxides and trying to paint this moon, I thought that's quite a good combo. So it's quite blotchy. That's probably my picture that's making it look blotchy, because it's not precise detail, which is great because I don't really want precise detail. It's quite nice that it's come out patchy. Okay, and then also I'd like to water around the edge. I suppose it's more of a painting lesson, really. So sorry about that. I don't know what you're expecting. I've seen some mixed media things going on. So just putting some water around the edge, and then just adding a bit more ink, just because I kind of want a nice sort of crisp edge to the moon. And the water sort of makes the ink, I think, go towards the edge. And then also add some splashes as well to the grey areas, because that adds reacts, doesn't it, with the ink, and adds a nice effect. I don't know, there's something nice about the moon. So to be able to paint it, quite nice. And it's good for mail cards as well, I think. I am going to try and make a card, but it's good for mail cards as well. Okay, I'm going to add a bit of black soot because I want some depth as well. So I add a bit of black soot, and then I can mix the two together and get sort of deeper areas. There's a bit there that's dark. So I'm basically just moving the brush around and just keep an eye on the picture. Add water. So I think it's something you could have a go at if you've not done much watercolouring, because it's organic, so it doesn't have to be specific. You've got the circle there already, so it's just painting blobs really. Okay, how are we doing? We love painting lessons. Oh, thanks, Lynette. Looks good to me. Thank you. Put a bit of a dark patch down the bottom there. Let's get some more blending going on. Always use lots of water. So it's just adding blobs really and layers. I think that's what it is, making it look interesting, just going over it all. Add blobs of water, don't panic too much about it. There's that dark bit there, that's like another crater on the side here. Oh, I might add a bit of, not that dark, I might add a bit of dark round around one edge of this crater. Hey, I might be showing my age here. Yeah, probably would be. But I always think of the clangers when I'm painting the moon. Does anyone else remember the clangers? Because they lived on the moon, didn't they? I am showing my age. With the soup dragon, is that right? I'll give you a closer shot just so you can see how it's going, if the camera can pick it up. Does it go in the shade if I lift it up? There. It's nice to use a sturdy card as well so it doesn't warp too much. Probably get a better view from the distance. Oh, Tracy, you watched the clangers. You remember the clangers. And Elizabeth. And you used to get those whistles, didn't you, that made the noise? Oh, I loved it. It was like, wow. Oh, it's funny how you remember these things. Okay, darker areas. So I need a bigger patch here. It's just still sort of layering up. Trying to keep away from the lighter bits that I created. Kind of want it a bit lighter down here, don't I? It's almost like the sun is lighting it from below. So maybe if I put water there, lift off some of that colour perhaps. More darker there. I am getting slight greeny colours. I think it's because the yellow is mixing with the black, making some greeny sort of colours, probably because I've got too much water perhaps. So I don't like that so much, so I'm going to dab some of the water off. That would be good. Some more paler splodges around here, I think. I don't want it too bright with the the sort of marigold colours and the Victorian velvet colours. Okay, how are we looking? Oh, Caroline remembers the clangers. Oh, Diane Prince is watching. Bonjour, Diane. I think she's, well, yeah, I think she's from France, or she is French. Okay. Trouble is, I'm looking at the comments more than the photo now. You get the idea anyway. And you just get this sort of chalkiness, I think, about these oxides. Okay, is that good enough? Are we about there? Just keep adding water, don't I? Maybe that's good enough. Just want to define this crater at the bottom a little bit more, because that's such a lovely feature. So it is therapeutic, sort of playing with inks and watercolours, I think. So just have fun, have a good play. Oh, Julia's watching. Hi, Julia. I'm good, thank you. I've been enjoying your Facebook Lives with your lovely stamping and wacky images. It's so nice. Right, I think that'll do. Just blodge off. I might even give it a bit of a dry, so just bring in the heat tool. Just get it nice and dry. Don't know if you can hear me speaking over the top of this. Okay, so I think what it needs now is some white splashes, I think. So we'll get rid of this. And I think acrylic paint's quite good for the white splashes, so I've got some, any old acrylic paint will do. Bring my trusty old paint palette. Some of these things you keep for years, don't you? Don't throw them away. Maybe a bit rough looking for Facebook Lives. So, quite a good strength of this white. So I don't want to mix it too much with water. So I'll add my mask in again, and probably some more spare paper. So I'm not very good with my drips and splashes. I don't want it going everywhere. So I'll cover my desk with spare paper. Okay, and then just splash on some nice white splashes. And this sort of gives it a bit of a sparkle and brings back some of the lightness. And then I might add a bit more water and maybe see if I can get some bigger, lighter splashes as well. Okay. So I don't know if you can see that very well. I wonder if I can paint in some bits like that white bit there. Give a bit of highlight. Paint in some bits. I've covered my moon picture up now. I can't see it. It's got some nice white bits to it. Maybe highlight those lines. Oh, you could play for hours, couldn't you? Are you talking amongst yourselves? Okay. So, what's Michelle saying? It's nice. I've seen 2 things I need to know and I've learned how to. Thanks. Ah, oh, wonder what 2 things they are. That's good. It looks fab, Julia says. Oh, thank you. Let's take this paper away again. So it kind of looks like that. You could spend longer doing a nicer job if you like. Okay, the next thing is to give it a background. So I want to go dark, quite dark with it, but not black. So I've got this chipped sapphire. I think that's a really nice colour, a nice deep dark blue. So we'll do some blending with that. That sponge isn't on properly. It's got to be on straight. Right then, so to do this, we'll start off with the marigold, or no, the velvet. I kind of want a base colour, really. So where's my circle mask? Bring in the circle mask. That's not dry totally. Let me dry my acrylic splashes. Oh, Karen says it looks great. Oh, thanks, Karen. And Emma. Thank you. And Tracy likes it as well. Oh, that's good. Thumbs up then. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Jackie. You like it as well. That's good. Right, so I'm masking my moon. Get it quite precise. Okay, right. I'm going in with some Victorian velvet. Okay, just all around the edge. Give it a halo. And it's kind of a base colour as well. Just blend it out. Don't have to be specific with this. I think when you use a lot of colour, you don't have to worry too much about the blending. It's when you use the colour lightly, you need to sort of start off the paper and blend out. But I want a good depth of colour, so I want to, it doesn't really matter about the blending. Okay, so do a halo of Victorian velvet. It's like a base coat as well. And this acts as, acts as a base coat. And I think it makes the colour you're going to put on top, like, blend smoother. Because you've added that inky layer into the paper, because the paper's very dry, especially watercolour paper. So get that sort of pink down there first. There. Oh, it looks quite funky with a pink sky. Okay, so then we're going with the blue. Let's bring that back in. Okay, make sure you've got your mask over there again. I might have another piece of scrap paper somewhere. Yeah, there's one. I want to start using another piece of scrap paper to protect my fingers, and also the oil out of your fingers can lift off the ink as well, so it's good to use a scrap piece of paper. And then just go in with the blue, so basically covering up over the pink, but we've used the pink as a background, and then the blue blends nicely, I think, and it gives it a sort of more of a depth of blue as well. So if I come out here, you see, because it's a darker colour as well, it's more difficult to, the blending's not, it's more difficult to see the naff blending sort of thing, the quick blending, when you haven't got that lighter base colour. And it's sort of not a sort of a chalkier blue. I don't know if you can pick that up, but it's nice to give it a base coat. I'll come down here as well. I'm not sure where I'm going to cut this up yet, but the vision is on a 5x7 card blank, I think. So I'll move it round. Oh, just dropped my piece of paper on the floor. Let's get another one. I haven't got any room to bend down and pick it up. You wouldn't believe this, but I've got a set of step ladders behind me because I haven't got any gadgets to hold my iPad up there. So I've got step ladders that my husband set me up with from the garage. So I can't move my chair much to pick stuff up the floor. Charmaine's joined us. And nice deal. Niall. Janet! Oh, Janet's watching. You found me, Janet, on this group. That's really nice. Janet lives right next door to me. So she's not far away at all. Oh, where are you all from? Are you all English? Apart from Diana. Does anyone come from somewhere else other than the UK? Where are you watching from? Because Evelyn's joined us. Thank you, Evelyn. Okay, you're getting bored with watching me just blend blue everywhere. Sorry. Jackie, are you laughing at my ladder scenario and my plank of wood above my head so I can't even stand up too quick? Okay, I've just got this bit more in this corner. How are we doing for time as well? It's been about half an hour, hasn't it? I don't know, what is a good time to watch Facebook Lives? I don't want to go on for too long. I think I'll do that at the bottom there. Okay, so see, I've got quite a depth of colour, so it's all blended nicely now because I've got plenty of colour. Okay, shall we see what that looks like? It's like a big reveal, isn't it? Ta-da! Yay! So I've missed a bit on this edge. See this edge here? So what I'm going to do is sneakily put that back. That's okay there, just round there. Sneakily put that back and just go over this bit with a bit more blue, and then that'll hide that little line. Hey, did I get some thumbs up and some hearts coming up then? Right, just move that a bit more just to blend it in at the top. There. Is that looking a bit better? Yeah, that's maybe a little tiny bit more. You see that? It kind of draws your eye, doesn't it, to this little light patch here. I am fussy when I work, I must admit, so I might just go and blend that in a little bit more. That's probably it then. That's probably it there. Tiny bit there. There, that'll do. Cool. That's good. I can see some sort of shadowing of splash marks. Don't know where that's come from. I wonder if that's the water. Could that be the water that soaked through? I don't know. Just see some shadowing. Right then. The next job, I want to add a vignette. There's a posh word. Might be a French. Is it a French word? I don't know. The vignette. Which it's like a, is it a photography term maybe? It's just like a darker sort of haze around the edge basically. And I'm going to have to go something darker, so the black soot is going to do this for me. So just add the black soot on the corners and just slightly across the top. Okay, get that nice and dark in the corners, and it almost like makes the moon look cozy in the sky, I think. Look, can you see that? Might have gone a bit too far. Might have to blend out with this. Just gone a bit too far with the black there, so blend that back a bit. Okay, more black soot down here. Just work it in. as I say, because the colours are deep, you can just work straight onto the paper. Has anyone said where they're from? British, but in Spain. Oh, have I missed some of the... Has anyone else said where they're from? 30 minutes gone. Thanks, Lilette. Arizona in the US. Wow. It's 8:30 a.m. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Good morning. Oh, near Aberdeen in Scotland. Anne's from. Oh, wow. So I have a sister living in Scotland, and I have an auntie and all other lots of her family that are in the US. Auntie's in Florida. Yes. Okay, I don't want to go too mad with the black. I'm getting carried away with the black, looking at the comments. Someone's from Kent. Oh, Jackie, you're from Kent. Sorry, I read that before I read your name. Is Els watching? Tracy, is Els watching? I haven't noticed Els. Oh, Els is there watching. Oh, wow. Hi, Els. Okay. So, is the blue blended into the black enough? I think so. I'll just bring that black back down again. And a good thing about the oxides is that because there's the sort of in them, the opaqueness, is that you can go over another colour quite easily instead of using the distress, the oxides. It's almost like oil paints, I think, where you can just go over the top a little bit and sort of correct yourself. Yeah, loving these oxides. Right then. Okay, that's nicely blended. That'll do. Don't want to bore people. Let me get a wipe for my fingers. Ink everywhere. Ink gets transferred everywhere. Oh, oh, you're talking to yourselves. You used to live in Preston, Lancashire. Suzanne, beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thanks for your support. It's nice that you're watching as well. Right then. So, should we get rid of that? I'll pick it up. So, a 5x7 card blank is, where's that? Put it here somewhere. There we go. Just got the white card blank. And need I haven't got my paper crease, so I'll just use my scalpel blade. Okay, so decide where this is going. I suppose I have got it more or less. I don't think I'll have a white background. I think that's too harsh. I think it would be nice not to have a border. I'll probably sit it at the top as it is. Yeah. So I'll just trim that bottom bit off, which is quite good because then I'll lose some of that black that I overdid it a bit with. I might use that for something else. Yes, don't throw anything away. Okay, should we attach that to the card base? Oh, I've got bits of paper on my glue stick. I don't want. Okay, so let's attach that to our card blank, and then we need a caption. And let me bring these into the shot. I'm going to use this set of hand lettered captions. And I like the fact that there is this one here, this long thin one. So I fancy putting that perhaps on a banner. Okay, so this is actually brand new. it is new, and this set's new to me. I have been working with a sample set because I've designed them myself. Am I allowed to say that? Oh, it's just so exciting. Thanks to Els for giving me the opportunity to design some hand lettered stamps. Right, so I'm peeling off this nice long caption. I mentioned this before in my last live. I slice off with packaging like this. I always slice off the right hand side, like with this die as well, so that I can easily access, and I can use the packaging and it just stays in there nice, and I don't have to bother with all this sticky stuff at the bottom. I just always slice off the right hand side, keeps them all there. Okay, so I'll bring in my stamping platform. Let's push some stuff out of the way. Got the lid on the glue. Okay, I've got a thin piece here of watercolour card. It's thinner as well. It's about a 190 GSM. So hold that down with my magnets, and I'll just place that in the middle of this strip. So I'm using my platform because it's watercolour card, so it needs a few applications, and of course it's quite nice. I like stamping platforms. So I need to mask this today because I just want the line that says "Have the best day." So I'm going to mask that. Stamp this with my black ink. I'm using the archival, but I don't think it has to be. So I'm just stamping this. I'm not going to use any water with it or anything. So just give it another go. Are you still here with me? Yeah, looks like you are. I need to do that. Lynette needs to do this. Evelyn's saying hello. Hello, ladies. Let's give it another go. Make sure it's nice and black. I need to give it a press in the middle as well, because it's going a bit bolder in the middle. Lovely. That'll do nicely. Get rid of that. And then I'm going to die cut that into a banner from this fishtail banner set. Probably go for the smallest one. Yes, let's do the smallest one there. Get some tape, hold that down in place so it doesn't move. What's that there? Have I got a spot on it? Looks like I've got a spot on it. Spot of ink. Might just see if I can scratch it off with my scalpel, as it's watercolour paper. Yeah. May even go over it with the rubber as well. That's better. That's why I like watercolour paper as well. You can scratch off any misdemeanors. Okay, so probably about there. Okay. Bringing my trusty old die cutting machine. Let's run this through. Can I do it sat down? Yes. Easy. Back over there. Okay. So we have our caption banner. So I don't want it too much going on because I think the moon is the focus here. Get rid of my rubbish. So foam pads I think will be nice. Get the foam pads out. So that can go, thinking down the bottom there. Get some foam pads on there. Lift them off. Just run a few across there. Right, how are we doing for the comments? Any questions? If I missed any questions, I will look back at the comments and see if I've missed any, or if anyone wants to know anything. So that'll go there, but I just think it needs something else as well. If I bring in a piece of scrap paper, you can see it a bit better. So I have in here some die cuts from, it's a Sizzix Thinnets dies, Wildflowers, the Tim Holtz ones. I just think these are nice and delicate, and I thought they'd be quite nice, just like a silhouette thing, I think. Ah, someone loves the moon. Sue Riley. See, your name really jumps out at me because Riley is my maiden name. Not spelt the same as yours, but yes, I'm a Sue Riley as well. So whenever I see your name, it's like, ooh. But I'm a Smith now. Okay, so that's a nice tall one. Maybe this one. See, I was cheeky. I got given this set to do a commission with, and I liked it so much I had to give the set back. So I quickly die cut some extra pieces so I can keep them. Is that really cheeky? So I'm glad I did now, because I think they'll work quite nicely on this. Where's my glue? So I definitely like this one. That's it. Let's have that quite tall, I think, in there. And then I like this one as well. Just pop a bit of glue on this one. I think I don't want to cover the moon. Maybe about there. Oh, it's going to, I'll lift that up because I just want the one stem coming down and not the two. So maybe about there. Good thing about Pritt stick or glue stick is you can rub it off with a pencil rubber if you get some on the top. Okay, so I'll just trim the stems down, and I might even add a foam pad perhaps under a couple of those flower heads as well. Oh, it's not stuck down anyway. There, just to lift that off, and maybe that one as well. Maybe this one. Stick a pad under there, but I do want the stem to be stuck fixed well, so I'll just add a bit of glue to the stem there. Right, then the banner can go on, and then I think we're probably there. Make sure that's straight. Just eyeball that, that'll do. Glue on my blade, that's it, let's pick that off. Okay, I think that's probably about it then. Wipe my fingers. So there we have a moon card. I think that's enough. I think that looks well balanced, and I've made sort of a colourful moon. So I suppose that could be for a man or male or female. Don't think it matters. So thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to be here and to have you in my craft room. It feels like I've opened the door and had you all come in and join me. So yeah, see you around. Thanks very much. Bye.